So you're curious about diving into the world of print on demand. Fantastic, you're in exactly the right place. Today, we're going on a step-by-step journey to get you set up with your very own Printify account. And I'll also be diving into best practices around how to optimize your Printify account settings to make them suitable to your specific needs. And when I say step-by-step, I mean it. I know how overwhelming new tools and software can sometimes be, so we're going to go through this at a comfortable pace. I'm Daniel, and I've spent my career working and teaching across the business world, and I've also made over $250,000 with print on demand and Etsy on the side. And yep, you've detected the British accent. I am based in the UK and I have experience selling everywhere in the world, so the things that we're going to discuss today are relevant regardless of where you're based in the world. As we go through this, I'll also point out some tips specifically for international sellers. Ready to go? Let's dive in. If you've landed here and not quite sure what print on demand is, it's basically a business model where you sell custom designs on products like t-shirts, mugs, and posters. But the beauty is that these products are only made after a customer places an order. This means you don't hold any inventory, reducing risks and upfront costs. And your print-on-demand provider like Printify handles the printing and shipping directly to your customers, allowing you to focus on designs, marketing, sales, and customer service. I personally use Printify and Etsy to run my side business, which has now generated over $250,000 with a 25% profit margin. And in this video, we're going to jump into a couple of different things that you need to do to get your new venture off the ground. We're going to talk about creating a Printify account, how to connect it to an Etsy shop, and how to optimize your Printify account settings. So we're now on the Printify website. You can reach this website by clicking on the little link in the description below. That'll take you straight to this Printify homepage. And what we want to do is we want to sign up. We want to create our very own Printify account. So we'll click on that and it's going to ask for an email address. Now I'm going to simply enter the same email address that I used for my Etsy account that I signed up for, which is this extremely long one. And we're going to enter a password. Let's have a think. I think that's good. I'm not a robot. And I'm going to sign up. And it's now just going to get you through a couple of pretty easy, simple questions. So what describes you best? We're going to say that I have my own e-commerce store, which I do. What's your main objective? I want to start my first online business. What would you like help with? Similar to on Etsy, right? They're just going to probably provide you with a couple of additional pieces of information if you need it. I'm just going to select, I'm just exploring right now. How did you find out about Printify? You're going to select YouTube because you found me. And there we have it, folks. As easy as that, you now have your very own Printify account. But there's a couple of different things that you need to now do to make sure that your Printify shop is set up correctly and optimized to your needs. So first thing we have to do is we actually need to connect Printify to your Etsy shop. So we're going to do that first, and we're going to do that up here at the top left where it says My New Store. Click on that, and then we're going to click on Add a New Store. And here you have the option to add any form of sales channel that you may have. So maybe you also have a Shopify store, or I know TikTok stores are getting quite popular these days. We're obviously interested in Etsy for now. So I'm going to click on Etsy. And as you can see here, it's already recognized that I'm signed in with this account. And it's now going to ask if I want to grant access. You want to select yes. I do want to grant access to Printify to access my Etsy information. And there you have it. Really, really simple, right? you've now connected your Etsy store to this Printify account. What this now means is you can now start to create listings in Printify and then have those automatically fed into your Etsy shop without you having to create manual listings for each new product. It's really, really simple and really saves a lot of time further down the line. So we've now connected our Etsy store. That's fantastic. But before we start listing products and filling our store, we have a couple of additional settings we need to take a look at. Now, firstly, we want to head over here to the wallet button on the left-hand side. We want to go over to payments. Now, similar to Etsy, you do need to enter payment details. The way it works, as I described earlier, Etsy will always pay you the revenue from any sales you make. As soon as that sale comes in, it automatically gets sent over to Printify, who start to fulfill that order for you. Once they start fulfilling it, they will actually charge you for the cost of that product. So for example, if you're selling a t-shirt on Etsy for $20 and it costs $10, Etsy will send you $20, you will pay Printify $10 and you'll essentially keep the rest, so $10. I've really simplified it there, but. So what you need to do is you need to add a payment option to Printify. And what I would suggest you do is to use these same bank details that you used for the Etsy shop as well. I've actually created a separate bank account that's just for all of my Etsy business. If you're serious about this, I would encourage you to do the same. Now you can just bulk upload basically a balance to Printify using PayPal or Payoneer. But what I would suggest personally is to add a payment card. So as you just did earlier with Etsy, you can do the same here. You can also adjust the billing currency. So by default, this is going to be set to dollars. However, you can change this to a different currency. And I would suggest you do this if you are based somewhere else other than in the US. So for example, myself, I have this set to pounds because I'm based in the UK. This way, I'm avoiding any kind of currency conversion fees that my bank may charge me if Printify starts pulling money from my account. Just simplifies things in terms of the currency conversion rates. So I'm going to set this to pounds. Yes, change. And then down here, you also have the option to subscribe to Printify Premium. Now, Printify Premium is basically a membership that Printify offers that gives you the opportunity to get access to products on Printify at a reduced rate, typically up to around 20% discount, which can really make a difference to your profit at the end of the day. Now, granted, you may not be in a place to invest in Printify Premium yet, but I actually have a coupon code available. Again, it's down in the description below. If you enter EtsyDaniel into this field here, you will actually get 30 days of Printify Premium completely for free so that you can give it a try. So that's it for our payments. I would also go to the taxes area and make yourself familiar with this. If you are VAT registered and based, for example, in the EU or the UK, this is the place where you can submit your VAT information. If you're based in the US or in Canada, you may have to do the same with a sales tax exemption certificate, but it's unlikely. But still, make yourself familiar with this area. Next up, we then have our store settings right below the wallet over here on the left. And here we're going to enter our store name. Now, this is important because this is actually going to show up on your shipping labels that get sent out from Printify. So I'm going to make this the same as what I put it in on Etsy. So Benchwarmer Boutique, fantastic. We're going to click save. Next up here in these tabs, we'll go to ship from address. Here you have the option to enter a custom address that turns up on that shipping label. You can by default just leave this as a Printify default. That's personally what I do. I leave it on Printify because I don't necessarily want all of my customers knowing where I live. You can, of course, adjust this and make this a custom address. That way, if you are accepting returns further down the line and you want them to be sent to a specific address, you can have them easily found on that shipping label. It's up to you. We're going to click Save. And then we're going to go to Order Settings. Now, this is an important one. Quite a lot of information for you to take a look at here. First off, we have order routing. Now, a bit about Printify. They don't actually print products themselves. They're basically a network of different print providers all on one platform. It's basically like a marketplace per se. And when you decide to list a product, you pick a specific printing company that you want to go on or go with in the Printify platform. Now, there may be some times where that printing company in particular has run out of stock of a particular item that you're looking to sell. In those situations, you do have the option to set up this order routing, which basically means that Printify will automatically take that order and reroute it to a different printing company in that marketplace or network of theirs. And there's a couple of things that you can do here. You can enable order routing if you're interested in that, and you can decide what the max additional cost per item is going to be. So each printing company charges a different price. You can decide what the maximum would be that you want to charge. You can also decide to allow routing for exact product matches only or similar product matches. If you are going to go with order routing, I personally would pick exact product matches. You can also see some descriptions here of how order routing actually works if you are interested in learning a bit more about it. Now, should you do order routing or not? It's really completely a personal decision depending on your personal situation. One thing that order routing now does, which could be relevant for international sellers, if you're selling globally, if you, for example, set up a product with a US printing company, and you get an order in the UK. If you have order routing enabled, Printify will typically do their very best to route that order to a more geographically convenient facility. So going back to that example, let's say someone in the UK bought a product from me, but my printing facility is in the US. With order routing enabled, Printify will actually route that order, hopefully, to a printing facility in the UK, saving a lot of time on delivery and also costs on your end as well. If you don't have order routing enabled, that's typically not really possible without being able to do it manually. There's a lot of other pros and cons around order routing. There's quite a lot to it. I would really encourage you just to experiment with it. There's no harm in giving it a try. See if you like it or not. See if it's something that suits your situation. Next up, order approval. Again, Etsy's orders will automatically sync with Printify. You have the option to decide how these essentially get sent through to production. You can either have it done manually, which means you literally need to confirm each single one in Printify, or you can have it done automatically. I personally prefer to have this set on automatically every 24 hours. This way, it basically will automatically submit them for fulfillment after 24 hours of that order being placed. This will typically just give you a little bit more buffer time in case the customer reaches out to you with any small tweaks or changes they need to make. It's happened quite a lot in my situation, to be honest, where a customer will reach out a few hours after placing an order saying, "Oh, I entered the wrong address." It's fine. You can quickly go in and you can update that address before it actually gets sent through to production. Tracking notifications, you can decide if you get notifications for the tracking of each order. I personally just have this set as I don't need tracking emails because my inbox would just be bombarded with emails otherwise. And delayed orders, you can decide if a order has been placed on hold or delayed. You can decide how that gets sent through to production. I would always encourage you to set this up as automatically send it to production, meaning if that product all of a sudden does become available again, it will then just automatically get sent through and fulfilled. And then receive daily emails with order updates. Don't need it personally. Again, it's up to you if you want that or not. Great, so we've done all of that. We're gonna click save. And that's great, we've done a lot of work there. And then the very final step that you need to do to really just start getting your Printify account off the ground is you wanna go over here to the bottom left to the account button. And this will now give you several other options. We're gonna start off just by going on my account. And in here, it's going to ask for some additional information. Now, it's important that you enter this information accurately because this is the information that will show up on your Printify invoices. So the invoices that Printify will create for you on a monthly basis for all of the expenses that you've been charged. So I'm going to name this business. Again, it's our bench warmer boutique. My name is Daniel Clark. And my phone number and then you also need to enter an address, so an accurate address. Now, don't worry, this is not an address that's going to show up anywhere that the customer can see. This is really just for the invoices themselves, so make sure that this is accurate. And folks, basically that is it. We've created our very own Etsy shop. We've created a Printify account, we've linked the two together, and we've gone about optimizing our Printify account to suit our particular needs. I'd really encourage you just to go away and give it a try. What's the harm in trying, huh? Again, I've got links to a lot of the things that we've discussed in today's video in the description below, including a link to 30 days free Printify Premium if you do want to check that out. It's a great membership that I personally take advantage of all the time. And if you're interested in learning more about how to succeed on Etsy using tried and tested business strategies, then why don't you head over to the next video where we're going to learn a lot more about how to set up your Etsy store successfully.